Hi everybody, welcome very much. Esoteric Cloud Surfer is here, and today we're going to talk about Sun in Cancer. It's now in 21 degrees, so it's in the last decan. We are enjoying the last 9 days of Cancer season, the start of summer and cardinal water. Thank you for watching, by the way. Leave a like and subscribe, use the links down below, and let's talk about it. So, what does it mean for the Sun to be in Cancer? It means that our actions, expressions, and visions also our ego, uniqueness, and individuality are being perceived or done in new, emotional, spiritual, familiar, or comfortable ways. Or we want to do those things in those ways, and if we can't, or if we don't feel like the world is allowing us to do, we might get moody or we might get too in our own emotions and feelings, too much into our insecurities to try to justify those actions or those visions or to protect our personal space. And Cancer is ruled by the moon and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So our actions, expressions, and visions will have a more emotional, more internal and subconscious take and perspective. And also, we might go too far, we might expand too fast our emotions and feelings and our places of comfort. And in this summer, Jupiter is conjuncting the Sun in Cancer, so there is an extra emphasis to that exaltation, to that spiritual or overly emotional approach. And in general, the Sun, quote unquote, does not like to be in Cancer because the new emotions and the new feelings, the new imaginations and spiritual perspectives might make you or others around you a bit more insecure or just unsure or stutter a bit mentally or spiritually before expressing something, before acting on something. So some things might need to be done, some actions might need to be expressed, and they come out in a wrong time because whoever was expressing them was unsure or unfamiliar with the new emotions and feelings, so they had to process internally a little bit before really expressing their uniqueness and individuality. For an example, also, you being forced to see yours and others new emotions and feelings, new moods and new places of comfort might make you or others feel like their privacy is being exposed, even if nobody else is really praying into that. Just you going through this new cycle of creating new visions and new expressions about your places of comfort, your places of spirituality, new spiritual purpose as well. You might feel just exposed in general because we're starting the new water cycle. So that means that what was covering around us, the emotions and feelings, the vibes, the moods that we were in might not be as comfortable or as good as they were before because it's time to create new ones. So your actions and expressions can carry a bit of that extra mood or a bit of that extra slowness or insecurity because we're still developing those new waters, those new feelings and emotions. On a positive way, though, it's easier for us to see those new purposes with more clarity. It's easier for us to act on new emotions and feelings and new places of comfort and familiarity. So at the same time that is uncomfortable and you might feel exposed because of the new feelings and emotions, of the new actions and expressions coming out of them, it's also easier if you're ready, if you're strong, or if you know what you're doing to initiate those new cycles. And if you know how to utilize energy, if you know how to see all possibilities, you can actually get a bit more excited with the new you and with the new approach that you are having by seeing, expressing, and acting yourself into the world because you have more faith. You have more spirituality, you have new emotions and feelings, new moods and vibes that you are expressing and bringing into your personal world and the world in general. And that might make you feel and look really good, and others might look at you as well and feel that vibe. And you can be now an example of clean waters, clean vibes, new cycles. People around you might look at you and feel, because it's still sun in water. The sun does help us see a bit more, but water is always associated with subconscious things that we can't see, things that we can only understand because we see their effects on the world around us. So people might not be seeing you directly, they might not think about you as an example, they might not see you as an example, but your new vibe, your new spiritual movement will rub on them, and they might start moving, they might start seeing things in a new emotional and new spiritual way because you developed good spiritual lights, good body language, good spiritual mechanisms that can inspire others to initiate their own paths as well. Also, remember that Jupiter is conjuncting Sun in Cancer, so there is an extra source of expansion, a new way to obtain wisdom and knowledge via new emotions and feelings, new faiths, new beliefs, new spiritual purposes, and it's also easier to expand and obtain new wisdom and knowledge from our own new visions about ourselves, our uniqueness, our individuality, how we see the world, and how we think the world see us. If we have more faith, if you create new ways to connect us to all possibilities, if you create new places of comfort and new places of familiarity within your expressions, also your insecurities cannot be just insecurities and then become real securities, right? Because an insecurity is something that you are secure within yourself, but not out of yourself. So we can expand on that and via the sun create real examples, actions, lights, and constructions where those insecurities can become a security via your expressions and visions with more faith, more creativity, more spirituality, and more emotional connection to your spirit and your purpose. And you can expand just how you do your purpose or how connected you are with it if you act on it, if you see yourself in a new emotional way connected to your purpose. Jupiter will make sure that you can expand and obtain wisdom and knowledge about that a little bit faster. Also, on the negative side, Sun conjuncting Jupiter means that you can expand too quickly on your moods, on your negative new emotional cycles, which will happen every time cancer season comes in, just because we're detaching from old cycles, just because we're going for new emotional cycles, you or some spirits within you that were attached to the old emotional cycles might rebel, might make you feel uh, a bit mad, might make you feel a bit insecure, might make you feel aggressive and attacking others, just so you can feel a sense of accomplishment or justification or validation to the past emotional cycles. And Jupiter can help you expand on that, right? Can help you derive some wisdom and knowledge that can make you express it in a way where others will accept or at least tolerate or at least not perturb you when you're being toxic and trying to go back to those cycles while it's time to create some new emotional cycles and spiritual purposes. Especially with Jupiter conjuncting the Sun, the key point of this Cancer season is to expand on your new actions and expressions that deal or are connected with new spiritual purposes, new spiritual connections, new hopes, new faiths, new beliefs, new feelings and emotions that you can use to elevate your emotional being, your spiritual being, and your understanding of your emotional realm and how to translate that into reality in a unique way that belongs to you, but also can make others feel in a good way because they can see you as an example in how to shift into a more expanded, wise, and aware space of the spiritual realm. Now, let's take a look at how the sun is aligning with the rest of the natal chart. We have Mercury in Leo, fatal attracting Sun in Cancer. So we'll be thinking, communicating, and analyzing the Sun in Cancer in a more fixed or stubborn way that is also more spiritual, more expressive, more looking for attention and validation, and looking to either praise your ego or make a good vibe so others can look at you or the situation in a better, lighter way. Also, we have Venus in Gemini, also fatal attracting Sun in Cancer. So we are creating new emotions and feelings, new actions and expressions derived from new emotional and spiritual purposes, but the way we are relating and committing and the way we are being related to and committed to is lighter, more logical, more detached, more surface level. So when we go through those negative moments because we kind of rebelling or we were too attached to the old circumstances, we then can light things up and find partners, find conversations, find subjects, find examples that make us feel light and help us commit to still go through that process, but in a light, more open and fresh way. But you or others might still be a bit mad or a bit rebelling because you taking this seriously, you going deep within yourself, you feel unprotected, you feel unfamiliar, but then everybody else is so light. Everybody else is so easy to cross the boundaries and the limits, and you might be reacting or getting moody because of that. And sometimes you need to establish and show your emotional limits and boundaries. After all, Cancer does oppose Capricorn, the sign of real limits and boundaries. Then we have Mars in Virgo sextiling the Sun in Cancer. So an opportunity to bring passion or frustration in a mutable, real, profitable, and organized way to your new feelings, new emotions, and new spiritual purpose that derive and create new visions, new actions, and new expressions about you, how you see yourself, how you see the world, and how the world sees you. We also have Saturn in Aries squaring Sun in Cancer. So, learning how to see new spiritual, new emotional, and new comfortable ways, or learning how to express in new spiritual and new comfortable ways into new spiritual but more aggressive, more reckless, more on your nerves, and more personal, more intense realities, structures, limits, boundaries, networking, and associations. We also have Neptune in Aries. So, learning how to express in new emotionals and new spiritual ways the new feelings, the new actions, and the new desires that you are just creating or receiving newly, or you are now aware of those things, but they were already there, but your awareness is new, and those things are big subconscious dreams and illusions, big collective subconscious traumas, curses, gifts, and abilities. Also, you have Uranus in Gemini, so fatal attracting the Sun in Cancer, so feeling more spiritual, more personal, and more fresh or insecure when it's time to be more mutable, light, and logical with change, opposition, and rebelliousness energy. And lastly but not least, Sun in Cancer in conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius. So misunderstanding new feelings, new actions, new expressions, new emotions, and new spiritual purposes, and the new world where everybody will have a chance to be more connected or be the leader of a community that is more unique, more personal, more relatable, but still serious, still structurized, and still about reality or about making reality lighter, more unique, and better. So, to finalize this Cancer season, it's really important to focus in creating new pathways, creating new actions, new expressions, and new visions to all possibilities via accessing Jupiter via your more spiritual actions, your more emotional actions, taking care of yourself, expanding your subconscious awareness, expanding the knowledge and wisdom about reality and how the spirit creates reality, acting in ways that you care about, expressing things that you care about, acting, bringing light, bringing attention, bringing awareness to places of comfort, to places of familiarity, creating new places of comfort, creating new places of familiarity, especially in areas where you were insecure or unsure before, will make you see directly Jupiter and how you can expand your emotions and feelings, how can you expand your wisdom and knowledge, and how can you expand your awareness of the subconscious realm and understand the spiritual mechanisms that brought you here and that allow you to be yourself and create your own world according to your own visions, imaginations, and spiritual purposes. So thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Leave a like and subscribe, and book readings and consultations with me using the email in the link tree down below. Thank you for watching. I see you next time.